Welcome to the call-in. Today we've got acclaimed photographer Denzel Alpha, who's based in Zimbabwe. Welcome, Denzel. So, Denzel, during the lockdown, one industry that's really been affected by COVID has been photography, right? Photography is a very interactive game. Yeah. You have to deal with models, makeup artists, and you as a photographer, you have to be in contact with people and your clients. How have you managed during this time?
It has not been easy. As you know, a lot of businesses were affected, and us as artists, we were some of the most affected by the pandemic. But to answer your question, how I have been dealing with COVID is that I took that time, to reflect back and to develop concepts as well as building my studio. I took the time to extend my studio because I didn't have any shoots coming through. Mm-hmm. But in terms of finances and all that, it's been, we've been spending money throughout this time, the whole time from March, since the lockdown started. We've just been spending money, March, April, May, and now we are in June, without any income coming in. So it's been, that's a very disturbing situation. But we've been trying to take the time to do something productive, like building a studio, because in a normal environment, you can't afford to be building because you have to shoot and you have a lot of shoots lined up. So this was a time to just sit back, relax, as well as to grow ourselves in terms of concepts, and thinking ahead and planning as well, post-COVID.
True, very true. So, so today you're going to show us an example of a studio shoot that you've done, and I'm a big fan of your photography and work. Once in a while, I've actually asked, I actually check out and how do you do what you do? So this is a very special one for me in particular. What picture do you have for us today?
Okay, I took this photo during. So this girl's not a model. She's one of the people we work with here at the studio, and I just said that we don't have any shoot. Do something fun. Let's shoot you, because she was the closest person around. Mm-hmm. And we. So as you can see, this photo, it's a simple one light setup, and we shot this with just a small zoom reflector, 7-inch zoom reflector, and the light is really close to it. That's why you see those dramatic shadows and super bright highlights. And like I said, she's not a model, so we're just playing around. With light. Mm-hmm.
So wait, you said that for this. So you said that for this picture, you only used one light and a reflector.
No, this is just a one light setup. Mm-hmm. It's just one light with the zoom reflector, nothing else. Let me explain a little bit about my workflow, especially my post-production workflow. From the time of capture, I normally shoot tethered into capture one, and then from Capture One, I just do just a few tweaks. Don't do much in Capture One, and then I export to Photoshop then edit to Photoshop. So my philosophy is get it right in camera.
Mm-hmm.
So this is straight from camera. From camera, I was shooting tethered into Capture One, and I had zero saturation. So I was capturing black and white images.
So
right from yeah.
So what we're seeing right now is basically straight out of camera with just a few micro adjustments that you did in Capture One.
Yeah, on this one, the adjustment that I made was mainly zero saturation.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing much. The highlights are as they are.
Yeah.
The exposure is it was when I was capturing this image. So it's mainly like this is my photo straight from camera.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't do much. And then from here, I went straight into frequency separation. The way I use my frequency separation is a little bit different from how most people or how most photographers use it. I actually use my frequency separation process to clean the image, not to like. And I noticed a lot of people do a lot of airbrushing and all that using frequency separation. I use it differently because I edit the way. Let me just open my my folder here. So the way I use my mainly to fix issues like I clean texture separately, and then I clean tone separately. So I mainly do a lot of cloning. In this instance, I was doing a lot of cloning. I wasn't healing. I was doing cloning when it comes to my high frequency layer, and then with my low frequencies, I was also like just trying to adjust the colors so that they are even. In this instance, the black and white photo, so it was quite easier for me. I didn't have to do much with the tones, but I did a lot with the high frequencies. And then from there, as you can see, from my layers tab here. So I have my lows. This is just a duplicate of the lows. That's where I work from, as well as my highs, and then this is just a duplicate of the highs. This helps me to see, better, especially if you're working in color, like my solar curves. They help me to see much clearer than I would. They help me to see much clearer than I would normally see when I'm not working with the solar curve. So after that, I used my dodging and bending, just to make those simple adjustments. As you can see,
just fix some of those highlights and tones.
Yeah, just to make the transitions from the shadows to the highlights, to the shadows more smooth. So it's nothing much. So I do a lot of micro adjustments. I don't do a lot when I'm editing. Just do a little bit.
So there's something
and then from there, and then I adjusted my tones.
So there's something that you mentioned that there's like, I feel like there's two camps when it comes to frequency separation. There's the guys who like to just fix the gradual highlights and shadows, as well as fixing the color tones, as well as blemishes and so on, but without distorting the image and the skin and the model too much. Whereas there's another camp that has this. I feel like it's a very appealing look on, especially on like Instagram and social media, where it's very plasticky feel to their images and to their skin tones. I feel like there's those two different types of styles that usually go for frequency separation.
The other thing that I've learned over the years, I used to be one of those people who used to polish pictures. You know what I mean? But as I began to grow and mature, and when my eyes, there's like kind of visual literacy that you gain over experience and over time. I never used to have that, and I now appreciate more natural looking images rather than super polished, or they might be very refined but well done that you won't even tell that
it's been through a lot of processing and polishing.
It's edited, but it's not, it doesn't look fake. I don't know if you know what I mean.
I get what you mean.
It looks good. And some other people, it's, I think it's just time, with time you begin to, unless if it's a style, we have different styles. Some people prefer, that are over processed. Some prefer images which are a little bit more natural. So this is where I am right now. I'm appreciating images which are not overly processed in terms of skin smoothing and all that. So that's my personal style right now. Like if you look, I think you've noticed that I deleted most of my old stuff from my portfolio, from my Instagram, from my website,
to reflect that new style that you have.
I felt like the work that I'm doing right now is what I want my style to represent, rather than the images that I was doing long back. So this is where I am right now in my photography journey.
Right.
So I don't do. People think that I do a lot of editing. I don't do a lot of editing.
You try and get it right in camera before anything else. So
I try to get it right in camera. Even if I show you other pictures.
So in a way, do you partner up with a makeup artist in order to make sure that you've got those clean images? Because I feel like in order to get a picture looking perfect in camera without needing to do too much post, you also need to have a good team around you. That includes like a solid makeup artist to make sure foundation and everything is great on a model.
So collaborations are really essential in every artist. They are very essential to us photographers. We can't be the best without a good makeup artist, or without a good stylist, without a good model. So it's all collaborative. Everything that we do, we have to collaborate with other artists to, no matter how good your images may look, if the makeup was messed up, then we'll never get a good image. So it's very important to have a solid team around, you know, and another set of eyes as well. Because I might like, okay, personally, I like, when it comes to makeup, I like more natural kind of, you know, kind of look. If it's the eyebrows, I don't like a lot of eyebrow pencil in the eyebrows. I like it more natural. You know, it gives me freedom to, when I'm editing, I can go in and adjust strand by strand. You know, that's me. That's me. And you know, if I'm working according to Denzel, all my images would look like that in terms of makeup. But having another set of eyes, you know, a good makeup artist, you know, I might end up shooting something different. So I appreciate, you know,
input from
I
other
appreciate
individuals.
working with yeah, I appreciate working with other creatives.
For a high-end job, let's suppose for a high-end photo shoot for either a magazine
Yeah.
or like, how big is your team usually?
It depends with what exactly are we doing, but mostly we work with. Obviously, you need a stylist, and that stylist needs an assistant. So already we have two, just stylist and assistant. We need a makeup artist and the assistant, depending depends with how many people are shooting. If we're shooting one model, if we're shooting a cover, then you know, it then differs, and then that another, you can say, a photographer, me, and my two assistants, and then we go to. If we're doing a full day shoot, then we need catering. You know, if
Food is
we
important.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to starve your talent on set, so you need catering. Mostly, you know, you can work with a skeleton team like that. If the budget permits, then you can, you know, expand to more people. And I also I normally shoot with one assistant and one digital tech.
Oh.
There's someone, because I shoot tethered, so someone is always on the computer taking out my pictures.
Oh, okay.
Because I wouldn't want to be like shooting and then, you know, look on the screen how the exposure is. You know how it is.
Yes, yeah.
So I try to get that out of the way by having someone permanently on the laptop, constantly checking my settings, because sometimes when you're shooting, especially when you're shooting fast, you might, you know, you might change certain settings by mistake, and you don't notice it. So having someone else on the computer taking out your pictures, I think that's the best way to go about it.
So Denzel, thank you so much for the talk. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Where can people reach you if they want to reach you online?
You know, follow me on Instagram, guys. Denzel Alpha. Follow me on Behance. Also check out my website. I think you dropped the description below, right?
It will be there in the description.
Yeah. So just follow me on Instagram. Email me if you have any questions, and let's grow our creative industry in Zimbabwe and in Africa.
Wise words from Denzel. Thank you so much for being part of the show. We really appreciate you being a guest here. And to all our viewers, drop a comment. Tell us what you want to watch next, who you want us to interview, and the topics you want to see. And until the next week, bye.